you call this your anchor, and where you find solitude.
I do, yes. So the gym for me and this physical activity for me is my anchor, and I always, I would recommend that for all of you guys in the room, is for us to find that anchor, whether it's hiking or biking or yoga or meditation or whatever it is. Because for me, the gym or just some sort of physical activity, it anchors my day, and then it allows me to go on and work for the rest of the day.
So it is a spiritual practice for you.
Well, it's way more than just physicality.
Yes.
It's way more than just picking up a weight. It is my balance, it's my anchor, it's my spiritual anchor, mental, because what it allows me to do, it's the only time for me that, and we all need this because this treadmill of life, there's no stop button, so it's so crazy. It just allows me to block out the noise and clear my head, think about what I need to do or accomplish, or think about the things I need to accomplish without the influx of information and people trying to tug at me and pull at me.
Absolutely. So I know your company is called $7 because you found yourself at one time in your life with only $7 in your pocket, and you've now turned that around.
I did. When I had a dream, and that dream was to play professional football. I fell in love with the game of football, played at University of Miami. We had great teams. We won a national championship. My goal was to play in the NFL. Again, because we didn't have a lot of money, so I wanted to be the first one to buy my parents a house, buy myself a house. I never lived in a house until I was 29 years old. And the dream didn't come true. I didn't get drafted. I didn't get any offers, nothing. I had to work up in Canada at the Canadian Football League. And when I was cut, when I was cut from there, I had, my dad had to come pick me up. And I'll never forget, we were on I-75. He lived in Tampa, came to Miami, got in his pickup truck. We drove up I-75. And I'm 23 years old. I am forced to move back in with my parents, which I was, because you want to tackle the world and you have all these dreams, and none of it came true. And it was also hard because all my friends around me, those teammates, they were NFL stars, and they became millionaires buying their parents a home. That's the thing, you want to buy your mom a home. So I said, I wonder how much money I have. And I took out my wallet, and I had a 5, a 1, and some change, and at least I rounded up. I'm optimistic. So I thought, I have $7. And now everything, my production company and all marketing, everything is $7.
Yeah, and I love that, because I believe that everything that is happening to us is happening to lead us to whatever is the greater moment. And so remembering the $7 and now turning your entire company empire into $7 Productions. Yes. I think part of the reason that both men and women are drawn to you is that beyond actually the buff exterior, in a world where masculinity is evolving, would you not say it's changing?
Yes, it's completely changing. It's been a long time overdue.
Yeah, and I would say that in this world, the reason why we love you so much is you've always seemed to be softer, comfortable with your softer side. Mm-hmm. Has that always been, or has that been a learning since your daughters?
That's been a learning experience since my daughters were born, but that continues to evolve. It's a continued management and a growth thing but also being acutely, I think, empathetic. That was a big thing too, was just the power of empathy and really trying to be empathetic to not only my family, but also people. But then also self-empathy too, really helped me.
And did you learn that through therapy? Because you've been pretty open about how going to therapy helped you when you were struggling to bet on yourself.
I did learn that. It took time for me to learn that one, because I had gone through my first bout of depression. I was 18 years old. After that, I think I was 23. Then after that was when I got a divorce. So it had been a learning experience through that. Therapy really helped me. But
how did therapy help make you more of the man you wanted to be?
Once I understood that, number one, I'm not alone when it comes to mental struggle, and that we all go through it. Because growing up, being in a house, like my dad was tough love, so sharing feelings and emotions, I didn't have that. So I held everything in, and plus I was an only child.
Yeah.
And
were you the strong, silent type?
I was the strong, silent type. Meanwhile, there was a lot of stuff happening, going on in here. So I also, for me to become the man that I am today, fortunately, one, I'm not alone. But then the other side to that, it's like the A side, the B side, and maybe the most important side is to communicate and talk and get it out, and it's okay. Like your friend Brene Brown, who I love, we talk about
being vulnerable.
Yes, it's about being vulnerable and the power of being vulnerable, and something that we shy away from. Certainly men.
Yeah, and I think probably big men really do, because people put another kind of expectation on you when you're a big man. So men don't cry, so big men really don't cry.
Big men really don't cry. You have to be tough through it all. You have to play through the pain and things like that. But, you know, over the years you realize that A, it's unhealthy, and B, it's just not me. I realize that me and the identifying who I am, and who I am is I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this. I need to talk about my issues, my fears, my depression, and it be okay. And so not only am I okay with it, but at times I actually enjoy it, to be able to get it out, especially publicly, and talk publicly too about it, and how important that is too. Because you just realize that it's, especially as you get a little older, you know, and you just feel it. You feel the pressure and the weight of everything. This is why it's so important to anchor at home, and with the family, and good people around too as well.
Yeah, you know, Gary Zukav calls that a spiritual partnership. When you have a partnership between equals for the purpose of spiritual growth, meaning you're growing together in spirit, you're there for one another. What advice do you have for these men to keep their women happy?
Remember that you're usually wrong. Number one. But I would say keywords to remember. Yes, honey, you're right. But listen. I would say that is really listen. Like, become a really good listener, and it took me a long time to understand that and how important that was. Because when you become a good listener and you're really listening to your partner in this relationship of love and spirit, as you talk about, then inherently you become more empathetic. And when you become more empathetic, then you just understand your wife and your partner on a deeper level, on a greater level. And then there's a greater level of appreciation too as well. And then you make babies. Yeah.
Then you make babies. Someone asked me this yesterday, and I love this question. What still surprises you the most about people?
I think the thing that surprises me the most about people, I don't know if it's a surprise, maybe it just gives me great comfort and I like it. It makes me feel good, is probably in our world today, there's such a magnification of negativity and pessimism, it's always out there and it's around. But people are good. The majority of people, I feel, are good. In their heart, they're good. I
believe that.
Yes.
And what still surprises you the most about yourself?
About myself?
Yeah.
That I still get wide-eyed at a lot of things that are very, like, even though you've had the dance before and you've been around the block, and I get wide-eyed at things like this, and I get wide-eyed at the little things. Like, I really appreciate the little things.